Camera A rolling.
All right.
Wait.
Oh, well, maybe not.
Okay.
I'll be like Freddie. 3, 2.
Nice.
Oh my God.
You don't say the one.
You know, say
Got
All
you.
right, it sounds like we're good to go. And we're here, another Fashionable Frequency interview. My boy Willy Nordoff.
Yes.
Out of the east side.
Yes,
you know
sir.
what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
How you feeling today?
I'm chilling. I'm doing good. It's a beautiful day. Even though it's cloudy a little bit, it's still a beautiful day. How about you? How you doing?
I can't complain, you know. Just doing the normal, like, morning routine.
Type thing.
Getting your day started.
As
you know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed.
Do you have a morning routine?
I do, actually. I wake up, you know, look at my face. I'm like, oh, gotta wash that, you know. So, skincare. I'm really like pride myself in that. I try to do that all the time. Skincare, and then I don't like having scruff on my face, so shave a little bit. So do that.
No,
you know,
I feel that.
yeah, you know, do the shower. You know, I try to pick out an outfit. I do it on what I'm feeling for the day, you know, and then once I get the outfit, I try to play music to get me in the groove of it all, and then I'm ready for the day. I walk out like after I like listen to some good tunes, because I can't leave without actually like feeling like going out.
That's
and stuff like
interesting.
That.
So you put on the tunes after the outfit.
Yes, or like during while that process is going on, music is playing.
Okay.
But then
So 2 questions.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What song was it that you were listening to this morning, and can you describe the fit?
Okay. I was listening to this album by these 2 British guys. They go by Tears for Fears. They made like music in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
They have this one song. It's called Everybody Wants to Rule the World. It's an amazing record. People gonna know it. Like people gonna be like, oh my God, I know that. But body wants to. Yeah, that one. Yeah, everybody. You know, type. And I wore that. I played that, and then I like was looking at the outfit. I was like, okay, it's a cool vibe. It's a nice vibe, and it got me in the groove of like this sweater. I feel like this sweater is a little festive. I don't know, but you know,
You want to conquer the world?
yeah, literally, yes, indeed. So yeah, that's pretty much how it was. But the fit is pretty light. I don't know. You know, it's not too much, not too shabby. I'm doing my thing though. You know.
I feel it. Staying cozy, but still on a mission to conquer the world.
Indeed, always, yes, indeed.
Absolutely. And you know, we're here obviously because you've been killing it on the mic for some time now.
Thank you.
I want to say the first I've seen of your discography was back in 2019.
No.
Has it been?
Yeah, it's been that. Yeah,
Okay.
it's been that long. Yeah, you did research. That's great. Yeah, yeah, indeed. I love it.
Was that not-
No, you did. No, you're great. You're great. No, you're doing
So,
good.
from 2019 till now, I know your last project was Willpower back in 2023. How has your sound evolved?
I think when in 2019, I think I was very much on a tip of trying to prove to others that I could belong, and now I feel like it's more so I'm in a competition with myself, or just in a thing with myself, trying to prove to myself that I can still do it, and I'm good, and I'm you know, all that I think I am, you know. So it's really just, it went from me versus the world to me versus me. That's really what it was, honestly. Yeah, and I think, you know, the base of it is still the same. I still make the records in my room. I still, you know, write on my phone. I still, you know, get my friends to help out with records. If I, you know, want a singing part that I think somebody would sound beautiful singing, I still grab my friends. Hey, you want to do this? So yeah, the bulk of it is still the same, but I guess the reasoning is kind of different in a sense. Like, it evolves. I will say that.
No, absolutely. So I'm assuming during this process and this journey, it required like a lot of like self-reflection.
Indeed, yeah.
Self-discovery. Can you walk us through some of that process of like, what questions did you ask yourself to get you to where you are today?
Yeah. So it was a whole thing of why do I, once I got the approval from, I guess, once I started hearing people say, "Oh, you're really good. Oh, you're great at this," like what I wanted, it started to become a thing of, okay, people are saying it, but I still felt a bit of having to prove it to myself in a sense. Like I never felt content with just hearing it from other people.
So the gratification of others wasn't fulfilled.
It wasn't for not much, yeah. And it's all like, I think one of the things is like self-love is a big thing. Like I feel like the love of self, if you can't get that down pat, then no other love kind of you can't really do the other loves unless you get the self-love part down pat. So it's all about questions of, okay, make sure you know yourself. It was like knowing myself, like that was a big part of this whole journey, and I'm still learning to getting to know myself, and I don't think that's ever gonna stop. So just on the journey of shifting a perspective, I knew I had to shift the perspective once it got to a point of, how you as an artist you feel when stuff doesn't feel right. I'm sorry, but you feel when stuff doesn't feel right, and you gotta when inside in your heart, when you gotta make this shift or make the change in mindset or in whatever the surroundings are. So that was a big thing for me. Yeah.
And we know you make music, but are there other ways you express your art?
Yes. I'm also an actor. I also act at my school's school productions, or productions that my friends have and stuff. I also like to model and stuff. That's very nice. Yeah, it's cool. I think artistic expression is very important to me, and whatever the medium is, whether it's modeling, whether it's music, whether it's acting, or poetry or spoken word, I pride myself in being authentic and showcasing that, like, hey, this is like, started like quote Eminem, but like you only really get one shot. Like you never know who like is watching. So right. Like I'm always trying to take that opportunity whenever I can.
One shot to make it blow.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. So in those other realms of acting or modeling, do you have anything that you're working on currently?
Yes, I'm currently in a stage production of Pipeline by Dominique Morso. It's a play about the Chicago school to prison pipeline. People can look it up. I'm not gonna go into depth about it, but I play the character Amari. He's a kid from in high school just trying to figure out the world as his parents are divorced, and he kind of has a shell on himself. So he moves with a lot of pent up anger and a lot of fear, but he tries to be this hardcore person all the time and showcase like, hey, I'm all good all the time, basic stuff. So I think tapping into that character is definitely a challenge, and it's not easy because you got to pull emotions that I don't necessarily feel all the time or don't want to feel all the time, but you got to do what you got to do as an actor.
So yeah, because you mentioned the level of authenticity that goes into it, you just expressing your art. So you said it's hard to pull, but like that overlap, like when you're on stage or when you're rehearsing, like where does it pull in?
You feel like when you got, like, I think as an artist, I know when to go there. I know when to go there and pull myself out. So like when we can do performances, for example, whenever I do a show and I know I have to go on stage and perform, it's like I know I have to be attentive. I have to make sure I connect with the crowd. I can't just be a stagnant person on stage where it's just like, oh, robotic. Oh, I'm just rapping for people. Oh, and like I have to, y'all feeling good? Y'all good? Like I want to connect. And I think, having that authenticity is very important because people remember that. Like you stay memorable like that. I think, and as a artist, you want to be satisfied with what you do. So I think the most satisfying thing for me is just to always connect and always make sure I'm not thinking about me all the time. Like I get like it is me. Like it is me. Right, I do it, but that's not my main line of focus all the time. It's not just, oh, I have a performance, I have to do this performance. It's okay, I have a performance, I have objectives with this performance. I have to connect with the audience. I have to make sure the performance is good. I have to make sure I can look back at this and be like proud of what I did, and I can look at the crowd and make sure they're proud of what I'm doing. It's a lot of aspects that go into it that I think about whenever I'm on stage, and that's what makes it all authentic, I think.
No, absolutely. I think I've seen you perform once at Heirloom.
Heirloom, yeah. Shout out Heirloom. Yes.
And even done a cypher at one of Ellie's events. So
Yes.
like, I've definitely witnessed pulling in the crowd and connecting with people.
Indeed.
And again, checking out some of your music. Can you I guess share a little bit of like the process of like, okay, this is kind of a self-reflection of me, but how do I still maintain the connectedness with my audience?
Indeed, of course. So when I create my art, one thing, it's like recent, like around 2021, I realized is that it's subjective. It's not going to be whatever intention I have with it. It may mean something totally different to somebody else. So that's what I always, try to take in and remember. And I try to, not really think, like I said, I try to not to really think about myself too much within the process. Like, I matter, definitely, but other aspects definitely matter as well. And I want to make sure other people are taken into consideration when it comes to the creation of the music. Because I can make a song about, a hard time I'm going through, like a breakup, but then somebody else that could help them if they went through a breakup, and it could, fulfill them to like actually want to, see people again. It could do so many different things for different people. So I try to keep that in mind when I create. And I think as I do that, the connection grows within the people. And I've seen it, like I do open mics around campus and stuff, and I'm very particular with how I see the crowd, and I can see with certain performers, you can tell when a performer doesn't care.
Right.
It's easy to show, like it's easy to see when folks don't really care about what they do on the stage. They just want to, just have fun, whatever. But, I think it takes a really big amount of thought and care to think about it all in the grand scheme of it all, and actually, I think it takes a lot of care and determination to put different aspects of people into the thought process, I think.
Right, absolutely. No, that's amazing. Going back into like your music, you use a lot of puns, and even within your own name.
Yeah.
So you have songs like Goodwill, and I mentioned like Willpower being your album. Do you have a favorite?
Do I have a favorite? That's a good one. But favorite song, is that the question? Like favorite song that has a pun in it?
Favorite song that has a pun, or just like the favorite pun that uses your name.
Okay, so I also DJ. So whenever I DJ under DJ Willy Do It. So like it's like will he do it? Like will he do it? Yeah. So I think that's clever. Whenever I'm around people and there's a problem or something, they'd be like, if there's a will, there's a way. And I'm the will, so it's like, yeah, that's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So different things like that. I try to really be as clever with things, because I feel like being clever keeps it relatable, and being clever also makes it so that it's not all serious enough at the time. Like, because I talk about serious stuff. I'm really particular about the topics that I talk about, but I feel like the way I go about it is very unique, in a sense of like, you can listen to this when you're eating breakfast, or when you're talking to your homie, or when you want to work out. Like, it's different places you can listen to my music. It's not just a simple like, oh, I listen to this when I go to sleep. Oh, I listen to this when I'm feeling sad. like one of those things. So different feelings for different times,
No, absolutely. And another sense, you use pop culture references within your tracks, right? And just listening to Willpower, I've heard like the little snippets of like WWE, stuff like that. So did you grow up heavy?
Yes, I'm a big wrestling fan. That's a big thing about. Fun fact, I love wrestling. That's a big thing about me. I'm a huge wrestling fan. Been watching it since was in like 4th grade, and I've just been in love with just the idea and the orchestrative aspect of it, because it's really, when you look at it from the background, not just a fan, when you look at it from like the perspective of a person who's, backstage, or they have to, because they're orchestrating the match. It's it's not just like fake, it's not like, oh, this is fake, like it's really intriguing.
It comes down to a lot of stuff that's
very much
storytelling.
Yes, indeed. And I think that's one of the things I fall in love with too about it. Like it's very, I love storytelling, and I think wrestling, or professional wrestling, all aspects of it do a great job of it, in the sense of, you could have the little guy going against the big guy, and you want to see the little guy win. It's like one of those things, like, and you can get that, like, so I appreciate wrestling for what it brings to, the culture and like just the entertainment of it all.
Yeah, it just seems like you're in a world of straight entertainment, and you pull from a lot of different aspects.
Indeed, yeah.
So do you have a favorite storyteller?
Favorite story? Ooh, that's a great question. Like in wrestling, or just like general?
Well, I mean, how about this?
Yeah.
How about I give you three? Three storytellers. It can be. You can pull from music. You can pull from cinema, just general entertainment. WWE,
Okay. Interesting. That's an interesting question. Okay. Let me think. So one, I'll put Donald Glover. I enjoy him. I enjoy his worlds and what he builds with it. Like, he really has free range with what he does. Shout out Atlanta. That was a great show.
I like that.
Yeah.
But I can't really say what Atlanta is about.
I think that's the point, though. Like, I think that's the point. Like, it's up for interpretation, which is very...
There's no plot.
There's no plot. It's up for interpretation. Literally. Right. Like, it follows 3 dudes who are navigating Atlanta, and Atlanta, you see, it's a stimulation. It's not like it's not a set thing. Whenever you get here, it's like you're gonna get something new every week, literally. So absolutely. Yeah, Donald Glover. What's that nigga's name? Who the nigga that made Fantastic Mr. Fox? He's a director. I cannot remember his name right now.
I don't know his name either. We can.
Can you? I'm sorry. Can you Google it for me, please? I'm sorry. Wes Anderson. Yes. Oh yeah. Thank you. Wes Anderson. I adore his films. Fantastic Mr. Fox is actually my favorite film of all time, and I think the structure of that film really showcases that, like, you can really go different ways with the story and have it be entertaining. And I try to like use forms of that in my albums or in my records that I make. So yes, Donald Glover, Wes Anderson, and who's another good storyteller? I'll go with Lauryn Hill. I think Lauryn Hill is a very beautiful, like, her story, in a sense, like, we kind of saw her, not, if you look back in the 90s and see her journey, I feel like it showcases a unique woman, and we see that, like, in plain sight, because, entertainment, we don't know fully what she was going through, but we can hear aspects of it in her albums. We can hear aspects of it in her interviews. We can, and as time goes on, you can see the evolution of her. And I think that's beautiful as an artist, because that's the most important thing, evolving. You don't want to stay the same. And one thing about all three, like Donald Glover, Wes Anderson, and Lauryn Hill, they evolve. Like they may have, certain things in their films or in their art that is particular, and you can pinpoint it in each thing, but it's never stagnant. It's never the same. It never feels like, I'm watching the same thing over, or I'm hearing the same thing over and over again, So that's great. Yeah.
I think that's what we appreciate from artists, is their sense of evolving, and you can go back to like a 2010 and see a Donald Glover, because like for me, being a fan of him, I call that nigga Bino.
Yes, indeed, yes.
So from like what was it, camp, and then
Until now, yeah.
So it's like you can go back through the years and see like, okay, like he has evolved not only his sound but like how people perceive him and even how he presents himself in the media and whatnot.
Indeed.
So those are the three great ones.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch the Fantastic Mr. Fox because it's been some years.
Phenomenal movie. Fantastic Mr. Fox. Recommending it to everybody. Phenomenal. Yes, indeed.
So as you continue your journey as an artist, what is next?
What is next? That is great. That's a great question. The loaded question. What is next? But to answer that, simply put, honestly, I'm on a journey of, self-discovery every day at this point. So, I'm going with the flow. It's honestly, I can't really give you a straightforward answer on what is coming next. I'm working on music and I'm writing all the time. That never stops as a creative. But definitely just trying to grow and learn more while I come up, because this is crazy. I wasn't doing interviews last year, so it's like so now I'm like feeling the growth is actually, that's the most phenomenal thing, I think, like as an artist, when you feel like it's not just being a stagnant thing, because it's easy to get stagnant, feel stagnant as an artist, but the evolution of it all is really what I'm into right now. So yeah, you'll see you're gonna be seeing more art this year, definitely. And what that art is, you just gotta look out for it and just await for the best. It's gonna be great. I'm working on phenomenal things. Just know that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we hope that you share some of that new art at Fashionable Frequency come April 5th for sure. Man, and it was a pleasure to sit down with you and get to know you. Of course.
Thank you so much, Kari. Yes, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for this platform. You're doing great things for the city. Yes, I want you to really know it's not going over people's heads. You're doing great. You're doing great. No problem. Yes, thank you so much.
Until next time.
Yes.
Cool.